Nobody on the frontier expected a 16-year-old human boy to change predator politics. But that's exactly what happened the day 3 Kalrax scouts cornered him behind an old cum station. These creatures were built like nightmares, sleek fur, bone crests, and jaws designed to end arguments fast. Yet instead of panicking, the human did something no species on record had ever attempted. He opened his backpack and offered them his lunch. What followed stunned the Galactic Council and rewrote everything predators believed about dominance, loyalty, and humans. If stories like this spark your curiosity, go ahead and tap like. And hey, if you enjoy HFY moments where humans outsmart the galaxy in the most unexpected ways, consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow, and you won't miss the next wild encounter. Feel free to share this one to someone out there needs a smile today. The frontier outpost of Red Basin was the kind of place where dust stuck to everything: clothes, boots, even thoughts. Most travelers kept their heads down and moved fast, but today, 16-year-old Jae-min had taken a shortcut behind an abandoned cum station. He just wanted a quiet spot to eat before his delivery shift started again. Instead, he walked straight into a moment that would end up on half the council's security briefings. 3 Kalrax scouts stepped out of the haze, their silhouettes sharp against the orange light. Predators, real ones. Lean bodies, ridged bone crests. Eyes built to track prey even through storm grit. And they were staring at him like he'd wandered into the wrong chapter of his own life. Jay froze. Any sane person would. Kalrax scouts didn't approach. They cornered. They assessed. They decided. The tallest one circled behind him, cutting off the path back to the main road. Another sniffed the air, low and rumbling, like testing whether the human was worth the trouble. The third crouched, ready to pounce if he made a mistake. Any mistake. Jay felt his heartbeat hammering, but he didn't run. He didn't raise his hands. He did the last thing any species expected. He reached for his lunch. For a heartbeat, the world felt unbelievably still, dust suspended in the air. Heat humming against metal, 3 predators waiting for the human to choose fear. That was how Kalrax encounters usually went. Prey bolts, scouts chase, instincts take over. Simple, predictable. But Jae-min didn't run. He unzipped his backpack, slow and steady, like he was opening some sacred relic instead of a lunchbox wrapped in foil. The Kalrax nearest to him tensed, claws half unsheathed, expecting a weapon. Instead, Jay pulled out a warm, slightly crushed sandwich. A silence settled thick, confused, almost offended. The scouts stared at the food like he'd revealed an explosive. Jay could practically feel their thoughts ricocheting. Is this bait? A trick? A human challenge? He didn't speak their language, but he understood tension well enough. So he did something small, almost gentle. He tore the sandwich in half and placed it on the ground, sliding it forward with 2 fingers. The tallest Kalrax's ears twitched. Predators didn't receive offerings. They took them forcefully, yet this gesture, it wasn't fear. It wasn't submission either. It felt like an invitation. The nearest scout leaned in, nostrils flaring. 1 bite, a pause, then a low, stunned rumble. Human food. Good. The shift happened so quietly Jay almost missed it. One moment, the Kalrax scouts were circling him, studying him, testing him, brushing their crests against his arm to learn his scent. The next, they were arranging themselves around him in a formation no human on record had ever triggered. A protective triangle, a packed defensive posture. Jay blinked. Guys? The smallest scout rumbled low in its chest, nudging his leg with the blunt end of its snout, not hostile. Not warning, guiding, as if suggesting where he should stand. The other 2 positioned themselves behind him, facing outward toward the open dunes. Jay realized what was happening a split second before the tallest scout lowered its head. They weren't surrounding him, they were protecting him. Predator biology didn't like Kalrax packs followed the one who fed them first, the one who didn't flinch. The one whose calm outweighed fear. Every species had rules, and without meaning to, Jay had tripped straight into theirs. The tallest scout pressed its crest to his shoulder, a gesture reserved only for hierarchy recognition, a declaration. A claim. Jay swallowed hard as the truth clicked into place. He wasn't their meal, he wasn't their hostage, he was their pack leader. When news of the encounter reached the Galactic Council, the briefing room went silent and uneasy. Wide-eyed kind of silence usually reserved for ancient weapon discoveries or diplomatic disasters. Footage from a Minor S drone showed it all. 3 Kalrax scouts flanking a human teen like elite bodyguards, moving with synchronized precision, heads lowered in obedience. Predator species experts replayed the clip a dozen times. Military analysts argued it had to be staged. Biologists insisted it was impossible. Kalrax do not follow prey. Kalrax do not follow outsiders. Kalrax absolutely do not choose leaders outside their bloodline. And yet, there Jamin was, walking down a ridge with the 3 scouts shadowing him like he was born to command them. Counselors whispered about dangerous human charisma. Others wondered if this was the beginning of a new cross-species diplomacy. A few quietly feared what humanity could become if predators kept choosing them over their own kind. But the part that unsettled everyone most wasn't the video. It was the report that followed. Subject Jamin declined all formal study requests. Claims he just shared lunch. Scouts refused to leave his side. The final note landed like a tremor across the galaxy. Humans aren't rising because they're strong. Humans are rising because even predators choose them.